Well, YouTube is preparing for yet another pretty big um, change that's going to affect, well, quite frankly, everybody. I think it's going to be a good thing for Rumble, as you know, people will want to move over because what they're doing is rolling out yet another sweeping censorship update, and they're basically cutting off a lot of the doctors that provide any kind of medical advice that is, let's say, um, on. It's not even like weird stuff. I think that YouTube and I've said for a long time, YouTube has um, a legitimate problem with videos that are providing like selling miracle cures and stuff like that don't work. That kind of stuff is what I would consider uh, misinformation and actually dangerous, and I don't care if it flags that. But when you're talking about like doctors who talk about keto and they're promoting certain pharmaceutical companies videos over the top of actual doctors, it's getting pretty nuts. And there's a video put out yesterday by Dr. Eric Berg, who you may not know, but is huge. He has 11 million subscribers on YouTube. I'm not totally sure how he got them all. Probably during, the coof, I'm assuming. Although, I don't know, he says this. He's pretty good at viral content, looks like. 1.3 million views, 500,000 views. So he's very, very popular. And he provides some natural solutions to stuff as opposed to getting on the pharmaceutical train. And what he's talking about is now the effects of this. YouTube announcing new policies to target medical information, but now we're seeing it actually rolled out. So it said YouTube on Tuesday announced in creating its new framework to crack down on medical misinformation on the platform. It says in the years since we began our efforts to make YouTube destination for high quality health content, we've learned critical lessons about developing community guidelines in line with local and global health authorities. The platform has faced controversy in recent years for its algorithm and the way it can direct viewers to misleading and extreme content. In 2021, YouTube said it removed more than 1 million videos related to the coof. 1 million videos. It will remove content that contradicts guidance from health authorities on the prevention and transmission of certain conditions and the poke. It will also take down content that contradicts guidance on treatments, including videos that tout unproven remedies in place of seeking care and content that denies the existence of specific conditions, blah, 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 blah. Now, what's interesting here's where it gets a little more concerning, right? The platform said its new policies, quote, will apply to specific health conditions, treatments, and substances where content contradicts local health authorities or the World Health Organization. Now, what's interesting is, so this particular doctor is on Rumble as well. I wonder if he just created a Rumble, because it looks like it went 2 months ago, and then boom, 2 days ago, and then censored. Yep. So I'm assuming he actually. This is always like a salty thing for me. I'm glad he's here, but it's always frustrating when it takes somebody like we've been talking. People like Six Hexenhammer and I have been embracing new tech for years. At the expense of our own pocketbooks in most cases, and it's like nobody ever wants to embrace them until they're the ones that get censored. It's frustrating, but nonetheless, he uploads this video, and he talks specifically about some of the things that are now happening. And what I thought was, interesting is his example on, for example, ketosis. He's got thousands of videos on the subject. Yeah.
I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, maybe they don't understand it because the doctor's talking over their head or the information doesn't make sense. Or maybe they do really understand. They just don't agree with this idea of suppressing a symptom with a drug. and being on the drug the rest of your life. To me, that's not science. I mean, even if you start looking up like pretty much almost every disease, psoriasis, MS, and if you look at the cause of this, it'll say unknown cause, unknown cause. We don't know what causes it. Well, if you don't know what causes it, what makes you the expert over that condition, you know? But what really frustrates me is having them take over the keywords for the ketogenic diet. Now, why is that a bad thing? Because they don't have any experience in that area. Many times when doctors go to school, they don't get a lot of training in nutrition or anything alternative.
So he's going to share an example here. He's going to share an example here that, I think is just a pretty good one. We're not talking about what's getting caught up in these censors is not, crazy, if one weird trick to, you have to eat 500 pellets of plastic to clear, stuff like that. It's actual information.
And so now they get to be the controllers of that information as well. This next video that I'm going to show you is the video ranked #1 for the ketogenic diet. Check this out.
According to Dr. Google, the most searched.
I like how, these doctors always like, ha ha ha. There couldn't possibly be good information on the internet. You have to go into the system. You have to get on a pill. You have to do this or that, right? This is from I believe, the Mayo Clinic.
Question of 2018 was, what is the keto diet?
Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, and this was even 4 years ago, keto is very popular. People are searching for it. The bottom line is the more people that get on this diet, the less medication they're going to need because it handles so many issues.
I'm not shilling for keto. A lot of people tell me to do that to help lose weight. But the point is, he's right about this. And it applies to, the overarching way that this new censorship is getting rolled out. They don't want people, the pharmaceutical industry does not want people not to, fixing things on their own.
Instead of carbs for energy, the body burns fat, entering a state called ketosis.
Ketosis, what could go wrong? Sounds like a great plan. Sounds a little dangerous to me. That's why I've not tried it.
Dangerous? Really? Here's the problem. The lack of differentiating between therapeutic ketosis, okay, or they call it nutritional ketosis,
the federal
and ketoacidosis. But mild ketosis or therapeutic ketosis is extremely therapeutic. And I'm going to put some links on a whole bunch of science behind that supports that.
When I think about ketosis, sometimes I get a little nervous. I think, well, gosh, we don't really actually want you in ketosis. But can you tell us about that?
Right, and I think this is something that is the unknown with
three broads
who are
really just the nefarious thing is that this is clearly handpicked to be the #1 video that results in the Google search algorithm.
Ketogenic diet and being ketosis, because really, when you think about what ketosis is, it's a alternative pathway that our body has to use.
So I won't go through. He basically says, hey, look, there's actual science behind this, and these are 3 women who don't even know who have done very little research on it, and YouTube puts their video #1. And I think that's pretty nefarious. It's pretty messed up. I understand, like, legitimately, I understand that you don't want videos of, like, you don't want people who are, like, actually, doing harm. But I mean, this guy's a real doctor, just like many doctors we saw censored during the coup. Dr. Malone, anyone who spoke out, even as a doctor. You see this person, someone who got an injury from the poke, they're getting strikes on YouTube, even though they're sharing their personal stories. This is going to get worse. And it's nuts.
Well, it's official. YouTube has just now banned anything related to health that doesn't align with the general medical consensus. So, if any information related to health doesn't agree with the World Health Organization, they won't necessarily always take down the video, but they're going to change the algorithms. So, they're going to replace those videos that were popular, that had lots of likes and lots of engagement,
Yep.
with medical information. This new partnership with YouTube is supposed to protect you against misinformation and promote high quality health information. And their definition of misinformation is anything that opposes their viewpoint. I mean, if you go to drberg.com, you will see that I have 7,607 success stories. I'm helping people. I'm giving people lots of non-toxic solutions. And it's going to hurt a lot of
They
people.
don't want, at the end of the day,
Helpful. And this
at the end of the day, this is all about making sure,
backlash.
at least in my opinion. So he says now his videos are all hidden. He used to show up for, a wide variety of topics, but you can't find it unless you type in his name. I mean, I don't know. This video he just uploaded yesterday has 1.4 million views. But the fact of the matter is, I would say this is ramping up. Even you look at even the way the experts treated things during the lockdowns. What they were saying was changing, right? Need 1 mask, need 2 masks. Oh, if you get the jab, then you won't get sick. All these things that they had wrong, right? And that's the experts that are setting the bar, which is very weird. I think natural solutions are always something that is ripe for exploitation and quackery, but also it's a actual solution. Many people, there are lots of money. There's lots of money in the pharmaceutical industry tied in with the WHO and all these other things that, ultimately they want everyone on pills. And that's going to be the new YouTube now. You're going to have to go to Rumble or BitChute or Odyssey to find anybody who's willing to talk about alternatives to popping pills, which is ultimately what, Big Pharma actually wants.